Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something straight. When you are a chosen woman, your path in life isn't always going to look like everybody else's. It's not a path crowded with people cheering you on at every step. No, a chosen woman often walks alone, and that's not a curse. It's a blessing, because being chosen means you are destined for something greater than ordinary. It means you were built for a purpose that most people won't even understand. Ladies and gentlemen, let me tell you something real. There is power in independence, and there is unmatched strength in self-reliance. A woman who knows her worth, who understands her value, and who refuses to depend on someone else to define her life, that woman is unstoppable. Now, I know some of y'all may be thinking, Steve, come on, life is about partnership. We need people. And yes, I agree. Relationships are important. But hear me when I say this. Before you can truly walk with someone else, before you can share your life with a partner, before you can give love, support, and energy to somebody else, you have to know how to stand on your own 2 feet. You have to know that you don't need someone else to validate you, to complete you, or to fix your life. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of independence. Chosen woman understands this instinctively. She walks into every room knowing that her presence alone is enough. She doesn't need to be accompanied to feel significant. She doesn't need someone holding her hand to feel courageous. She's got her own back. And let me tell you something. The world respects that kind of woman. Men respect that kind of woman. People are drawn to that kind of woman because independence is magnetic. It's not arrogance, it's not pride, it's confidence. And confidence is rare. Most people are walking around depending on someone else to prop them up, to tell them they're valuable, to give them permission to feel good about themselves. But a chosen woman, she gives herself permission. She owns her space, she owns her mind, she owns her time, and she doesn't apologize for it. Now, I know it's not easy. I know it's scary sometimes to stand alone, especially when the world seems to be pushing you in 1,000 different directions. People will ask, why aren't you doing this? Why aren't you with that person? Why don't you follow the crowd? And there you are, standing firm, knowing that what you're doing is right for you, knowing that your independence is your power. That, my friends, is a test. That's life testing you to see if you really understand your own worth. Because independence isn't just about standing alone when it's easy. Independence is about standing alone when everyone else doubts you, when the voices of judgment and criticism are loudest, when the pressure to conform is at its highest. That is when your self-reliance becomes your superpower. Let me break this down for you. A woman who is independent doesn't sit around waiting for someone to rescue her. She doesn't wait for an invitation to live her life. She doesn't wait for the perfect opportunity, for the perfect partner, or for someone else to tell her it's okay to pursue her dreams. No. She takes the initiative. She makes her own opportunities. She works on herself. She invests in herself. She educates herself. She builds her skills. She grows her mind. She strengthens her character. And in doing so, she becomes unstoppable. You cannot stop a woman who knows how to walk alone, who knows her worth, who knows she can survive and thrive without anyone else's approval. And here's the thing, ladies. Independence doesn't make you cold or unloving. It doesn't make you distant or unapproachable. No. What it does is it allows you to love yourself first, to know your boundaries, and to attract the right people into your life. You see, when you're dependent on someone else for happiness, for security, or for validation, you settle. You compromise. You accept less than you deserve because fear is telling you that you can't survive without them. But when you're independent, when you are self-reliant, you're free. Free to choose wisely, free to say no to what doesn't serve you, free to walk away from anything that threatens your peace or your purpose. That's real power. That's independence. That's self-reliance. I want you to hear me clearly. Being independent doesn't mean being alone forever. It doesn't mean you can't have love, partnership, or companionship. It means that when the right person comes along, you meet them as a whole, complete, confident woman. You're not bringing them your broken pieces, your insecurities, or your fears. You're bringing them your strength, your vision, your dreams, and your power. And believe me, that kind of woman doesn't just walk into someone's life. She changes the atmosphere. She changes the energy. She inspires, she elevates, she challenges, and she demands excellence, not out of arrogance, but out of self-respect. So, ladies, I'm telling you right now, embrace independence. Embrace the power of walking on your own. Learn how to rely on yourself, trust yourself, and honor yourself. Learn how to navigate life with confidence, courage, and clarity, even when nobody is watching, even when nobody is applauding. Because that is what makes a woman chosen. That is what makes a woman rare. That is what makes a woman unstoppable. The moment you understand that your independence is not a weakness, but your greatest asset, your life will change forever. You will walk taller, speak louder, dream bigger, and demand the respect you've always deserved. And let me remind you, walking alone doesn't mean walking without support. It doesn't mean walking without guidance. It means you're strong enough to stand, brave enough to move, and wise enough to choose your own path. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the real power of independence. That is the foundation of self-reliance. That is what makes a chosen woman a force to be reckoned with in this world. Ladies and gentlemen, let me break this down for you. Being chosen is not about luck. It's not about being in the right place at the right time, though timing plays a role. Being chosen is about destiny, purpose, and recognizing that your life isn't meant to look like everybody else's. A chosen woman walks a unique path, a path that's different from the crowd. And let me tell you something, when you're on that path, you're going to notice something right away. It can get lonely. People won't always understand where you're going. They won't always understand the decisions you make. They might even question your choices. But that's part of being chosen. Because if everyone understood your journey, it wouldn't be special, it wouldn't be extraordinary, and it wouldn't be yours. Now, a lot of people think being chosen means everything comes easy. I'm here to tell you that's not true. Being chosen doesn't mean the universe rolls out a red carpet. Being chosen means you're given opportunities to grow, to shine, and to stand out. But it also means you're tested. It means you face challenges that most people won't face. It means you encounter moments when you question yourself, when you feel unsure, when you wonder if the struggle is worth it. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is exactly why being chosen is so powerful. Because the journey is molding you. The journey is teaching you lessons that only the right kind of woman can learn. A chosen woman knows that walking a unique path requires courage. She knows that it's okay to be misunderstood. She knows that it's okay if people can't relate to her choices. Why? Because she understands her vision. She knows her destination. She has a purpose, and nothing, absolutely nothing, will make her stray from it. She doesn't compare her journey to anyone else's. She doesn't measure her progress by someone else's timeline. She understands that being chosen comes with responsibility, and responsibility means being faithful to the path laid out for her, even if that path seems unconventional, even if it feels lonely at times, and even if it requires sacrifices that others won't understand. Let me tell you something about unique paths. Unique paths are not crowded. You will not find a chosen woman blending in with the rest. She is too focused, too committed, too aware of her purpose. And yes, some people might call her different. They might call her stubborn. They might even call her difficult. But the truth is, she's just aligned with her destiny. She knows that the things she is willing to endure, the risks she is willing to take, and the standards she is unwilling to compromise are the very things that will set her apart. And those who understand, who truly respect greatness, will recognize it immediately. They'll see the strength in her, the clarity in her vision, and the confidence in her stride. Walking a unique path also teaches patience. When you are chosen, things don't happen overnight. Opportunities don't just fall into your lap. Relationships don't automatically align themselves in your favor. Life requires timing. Life requires waiting for the right doors to open, for the right people to show up, and for the right circumstances to fall into place. And that waiting is hard, it's uncomfortable, and it's sometimes discouraging. But a chosen woman embraces the wait. She uses it to grow, to sharpen her skills, to strengthen her mind. and to prepare for the moment when everything she's been working toward finally comes together. That is the advantage of walking a unique path. It teaches resilience, it teaches faith, and it teaches the value of timing. And here's another truth that most people don't get. Being chosen often means standing alone, not because the world is against you, not because you're unlikable, but because your journey requires focus and clarity. Distractions will come, opinions will come. People will try to pull you off course because they don't understand your vision. And that's why a chosen woman learns to walk with discernment. She chooses her company wisely. She chooses her battles carefully. She doesn't allow noise or criticism to shake her. She understands that walking alone is sometimes necessary, not as a punishment, not as a sign of weakness, but as a strategic choice to protect her purpose and her destiny. Now let's talk about perspective. A chosen woman sees life differently. She doesn't chase trends. She doesn't follow the crowd, and she doesn't settle for mediocrity. She measures her success not by what others think of her, but by what she knows she is capable of. And he knows that the world might not recognize her efforts immediately. That's okay. Recognition is temporary, fulfillment is permanent. The joy of walking your own path, the pride of knowing you stayed true to your purpose, and the satisfaction of building something meaningful on your terms, those things can't be taken away, and they can't be measured by anyone else's standards. So ladies, understand this. Being chosen means you have a unique assignment in life. It means you have gifts, talents, and vision that are yours alone. And it means that the journey to fulfill your purpose will sometimes be solitary, sometimes challenging, and sometimes misunderstood, but always necessary. Embrace the uniqueness of your path. Trust the process. Trust your instincts. Trust the voice inside you that says you are meant for something greater. Because the woman who understands that her path is unique, who walks it with faith and confidence, and who remains unwavering in her commitment to her destiny, that woman is unstoppable. Remember, being chosen is not about following others, it's about leading yourself. It's about carving out a life that aligns with your purpose. It's about having the courage to walk where few dare to go. And in doing so, you inspire everyone around you, even if they don't realize it. Your journey, your choices, your discipline, and your resilience become a beacon of light for those who are still finding their way. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the power of a woman who understands that being chosen means walking a unique path, a path that may be walked alone, but a path that is destined for greatness. Ladies and gentlemen, let me be real with you for a moment. Life will test you. Life will push you to your limits. Life will throw things at you that you never saw coming. Things you didn't plan for, things that will make you question yourself. And here's the truth that a chosen woman knows deep in her soul. It's not the challenges that define you, it's how you respond to them. That's where inner strength comes in. That's where faith in your journey becomes the most powerful tool you have. Because when you are walking a path meant for greatness, you're going to need both a strength inside you that cannot be shaken, and a faith in yourself and your purpose that cannot be broken. Now, inner strength doesn't just show up overnight. It's built over time. It's built in the quiet moments when nobody's watching, in the nights when doubts creep in the times when the world seems to be against you. It's built when you refuse to give up, even when giving up seems easier. A chosen woman knows this. She doesn't wait for life to hand her courage. She cultivates it. She nurtures it. She strengthens it every single day, because life isn't easy, and greatness doesn't come to those who are weak or uncertain. Greatness comes to those who can weather storms, stand tall in adversity, and keep moving forward even when the path is unclear. And let me tell you something. Faith is what keeps her moving when the road seems impossible. Faith isn't just believing that good things will happen. Faith is believing in yourself when nobody else does. Faith is knowing that the struggles you're facing right now are shaping you for the future you've always dreamed of. Faith is trusting that the universe, destiny, and God have a plan for you, even when the plan is hidden behind challenges you don't yet understand. A chosen woman walks with faith because she knows that her life isn't random, her path isn't accidental, and her purpose isn't negotiable. That faith is like a compass. It guides her when the path gets dark, when the voices of doubt get loud, and when fear tries to make her turn back. You see, inner strength and faith work together, one with O. So the other can leave you vulnerable. Inner strength without faith can make you stubborn and frustrated. Faith without inner strength can make you passive, waiting for something to happen instead of making it happen. But when a woman has both, when she is strong, resilient, and unwavering inside, and when she trusts the journey, trusts herself, and trusts the plan, there is nothing that can stop her. Nothing. She can walk through fire and come out polished, refined, and stronger than ever. She can face rejection, disappointment, and failure, and still move forward with her head held high. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the mark of a chosen woman. Let me share another truth with you. Life is not fair. People will misunderstand you. People will try to knock you down. Circumstances will test your patience. And if you don't have inner strength, if you don't have faith, you will crumble. You will let fear dictate your decisions. You will let negativity consume your energy. But when you cultivate inner strength, you learn to stand firm in your values, your vision, and your truth. When you nurture faith, you learn to trust the process, even when the results aren't immediate. You learn to believe that every step, every setback, every struggle is part of a bigger picture, a bigger plan, a bigger destiny that is waiting for you at the end of the journey. A chosen woman understands that failure is not final. She knows that mistakes are not permanent. She knows that life will challenge her, but she also knows that every challenge is an opportunity to grow stronger, wiser, and more prepared for what's next. And here's the beauty of that. When you walk with inner strength and faith, you inspire everyone around you. You become a lighthouse for others who are lost in the storm. You become a role model, showing that it is possible to endure, to rise, and to thrive despite everything trying to hold you back. And let me tell you something else. Inner strength isn't just about fighting external battles. It's also about facing yourself. The parts of you that are afraid, the parts of you that doubt, the parts of you that are tempted to quit. A chosen woman confronts those fears head on. She doesn't hide from her weaknesses. She doesn't ignore her emotions. And she doesn't pretend that challenges don't affect her. She faces them with courage. She addresses them with wisdom. And she overcomes them with faith. And in doing so, she becomes unstoppable, untouchable, and unshakable. That's the power of inner strength combined with faith. That's what sets her apart. That's what makes her chosen. Now, let's talk about patience for a second. Faith and inner strength teach patience. They teach you to wait for the right timing, to endure the right lessons, and to persist through the right struggles. A chosen woman understands that rushing, forcing, or compromising her journey will never get her what she's meant to receive. So she waits, she prepares, and she walks deliberately with purpose and clarity. And in that patience, her power grows. Her confidence grows, her vision becomes sharper, and her life begins to align with the destiny that was always meant for her. Ladies and gentlemen, the journey of a chosen woman is not for the faint of heart. It requires resilience, courage, determination, and most importantly, inner strength and faith. Without those two, she would stumble. Without those two, she would falter. But with them, she is unstoppable. She becomes a force of nature. She becomes a woman who walks through life with dignity, grace, and unshakable confidence. She becomes a woman who knows that no matter what happens, she can handle it. She knows that no matter how dark the storm, the sun is still shining behind the clouds. She knows that no matter how uncertain the path may seem, she is exactly where she is supposed to be. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is the secret. The chosen woman doesn't wait for someone else to carry her. She doesn't wait for validation, approval, or help. She stands firm on her own. She walks forward with strength guided by faith, and she faces life with courage, wisdom, and unshakable confidence. That is the power that changes destinies. That is the strength that transforms lives. That is what it means to be a chosen woman. Ladies and gentlemen, I need you to understand something right now. Patience and discernment are not just virtues, they are survival skills. In today's world, everybody is in a hurry. Everybody wants everything yesterday. We live in a culture of instant gratification where people are chasing results, chasing fame, chasing love, chasing success without stopping to consider whether the path they're on is actually the right one. But a chosen woman, she knows better. She understands that true success, real fulfillment, and lasting happiness are not found in rushing. They are found in waiting and observing and carefully choosing each step, each relationship, each opportunity, each decision. That is the power of patience and discernment. Now, let me tell you, patience is not easy. It's hard to wait. It's hard to hold your peace when you see others moving faster than you, getting the recognition, the money, the relationships, the success. And it's even harder when your heart is ready for something, when your dreams are screaming at you to move, when you're ready to love, to build, to grow. But life is saying, not yet. And this is exactly where most people fail. They rush, they settle, they compromise, they say yes to